your energy forecast for Monday, April 10th. So welcome to our second moon day of this week. Again, we have a lot of emotional refinement to do, and we are offered 4 days this week to get in touch and in tune with our emotions. Of course, we are in this Sag energy. The moon shifted out of the Scorpio energy, very transformative, very deep, very dark, very probing over the last couple of days. The moon in Sag does offer us a little bit of light, a little bit of optimism, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of hope. Of course, we are aligning to a new truth, a new meaning, a new purpose. We are definitely pushing the boundaries of the kind of dreams and visions that we are hoping to actually manifest. This is also the last day that Venus will be in her place of power in this Taurus energy, again, preparing to shift into Gemini energy. Again, take a listen to the astro forecast that I put out for this particular event and a little bit of a refresher on what April's energy forecast is all about as well. There are 10 different aspects here today. All 10 of them involve the moon, making this a Monday, Moon Day. That will definitely help really kind of pick our emotions up out of the darkness, put us on a different perspective and a different path. So right out of the gate, we have the moon interacting with Mercury, ruler of the mental plane. This is an opportunity for us to see the gap, the distance between our heart and our head. Of course, the moon in Sag, Mercury being in this Taurus energy, there is a conflict. The low and slow want, need, and desire to stabilize with this Taurus energy that Mercury is in really creates a lot of friction, a lot of blockages, a lot of challenges with this fire energy that just wants to initiate, wants to jump into something new. Emotionally speaking, we are definitely going to be all over the place. The mental plane, of course, is going to be a little bit more focused, a little bit more fixated on what it is that we have to build, what it is we have to create, what it is that we have to grow. We might be overly anxious, overly anticipating a dramatic shift of dramatic change, but just keep in mind that the change has to happen within ourselves before we see it in our physical realms. The moon in Sag will make a very positive interaction with the true node, the north node in Taurus energy. This does suggest that we are kind of grasping a different vision, a different path, a different direction on where it is that we want to move forward. We're definitely feeling a little bit more refreshed, a little bit more renewed where our soul, where our spirit, where our emotions are concerned. And this is definitely positioning us to feel a little bit more confident, a little bit more optimistic on the steps that we need to take to get on the right path and to actually start moving forward. The moon will semi-square Pluto, though. Pluto, of course, the great transformer himself, and fresh in this Aquarian energy. We have a little bit of a tension point here because, of course, Pluto is kind of looking to destruct, to destroy, to demolish boundaries, rules, regulations, in order for us to have a space in order to create something new. So while the moon in Sag wants to explore and wants to push ourselves in a brand new direction, the Plutonian energy is acting as the observer and seeing where it is that we're a little bit too eager to push ourselves forward when we haven't correctly cleaned up the ties from the past. The moon will interact with Mercury once again. This time we are on the same page. This is a harmonious aspect. This means that we are definitely putting some thought into where it is that we want to go from here, what it is that is going to be worthy of our time, energy, and efforts. And because of that, we are kind of eliminating, closing the gap, if you will, on where it is that we're at versus where it is that we desire to be. That illumination of the distance between our heart and our head earlier on in the day is definitely being minimized. We are getting on the same page in our heart and our head space. And we still might feel a little bit of restlessness, a little bit of ants in our pants, so to speak. That is the Sag energy. Of course, we have fire on fire between the sun and the moon. That is definitely a pick-me-up. But of course, Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, and this Taurus energy has us grounded out, has us a little bit more present so that we can't kind of run off into imaginary land like the moon in Sag would prefer us to do. The moon will trine Chiron, the wounded healer, and this is definitely an energy that is going to show us where it is that things are actually getting in alignment, that we are seeing the support, we are seeing the validation, we are seeing the cooperation with the universe around us, with the people around us as well. We are feeling a little bit more encouragement, support, optimism, and confidence than we have over the last couple of days. And we are kind of giving ourselves permission to drop the baggage of worry, of fear, of doubts, of insecurities, and just kind of seeing the bigger picture, what is possible for us when we don't continue to bring the past into the present moment. The moon will make an aspect with Uranus, the Great Awakener. This is going to be an opportunity, a learning opportunity, if you will, to see where it is that some major changes are definitely needed, but where it is that our attachments to our physical realm, to people, places, possessions, things, the past, the old version of ourselves, where that particular aspect is kind of preventing us from making the huge kind of leaps forward that our soul and our spirit are encouraged to make at this time. This could definitely trigger some confusion. This could definitely muddle up the waters, if you will, from the clarity that we were just trying to gain. This is where we start to question everything. But the questioning, the confusion is actually a good thing because it points out a perspective, a direction, a path, and understanding that we wouldn't have otherwise uncovered. The moon goes ahead, bumps into the true node again, this time not as nice as the earlier aspect. We can blame Uranus for this because he is creating a little bit of confusion where we start questioning the step, the path, the direction that we thought we were in alignment with taking, and really kind of reviewing. Again, we just moved into the pre-shadow period for Mercury going retrograde on the 21st, which means that we are slowing down, and instead of pushing ourselves forward, we are now kind of reflective of this present moment and, of course, of the past and how it is that we got here. So we are starting to question our initial plans on how it is that we planned on moving forward and making some of these changes. The moon will trine the sun and Jupiter. Now, they're sitting very close to each other in this Aries energy, so it's no real surprise that we are going to be aspecting both the sun and Jupiter. But here's the thing. This is a trine, which is a positive energy. We got some fire on fire action with the Sag energy, the Aries energy. What is fire good for? Well, burning things to the ground that no longer serve and support us. Burning through the cords that we have attached to the past. Really kind of cleaning the slate for us, showing us where it is that we have to initiate, boss up, be bold, brave, courageous in order to initiate something new, jump into something new. And this is going to really show us where it is that we're making some very, very positive progress in our inner realms, really getting a lot of the weight of the heavier emotions out, kind of cleaning the slate, recognizing where it is that we're encouraged to move forward, really kind of reigniting that passion, that excitement that's been really hard to align with for some time now. The Jupiter element definitely magnifies the excitement, the passion, the desire, the motivation, the determination that we now have to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone, test our own fate, test our own abilities, and to create new opportunities for us that will, of course, give us an opportunity to grow and expand through some of the tougher life lessons. The last aspect that we have here today is between the moon and Saturn, Mr. Karma himself, ruling over roles, responsibilities, structures, and foundations. This is a positive element for us, which works in our favor. It's definitely showing us where it is that we have to be a little bit more present and attack the to-do list in order to clear away some of the structures, foundations, routines that are no longer serving us, especially where our belief system is concerned. And of course, removing that out of the way, we are left with a clean slate in order for us to begin to build something new, especially where our belief system is concerned.